On the edge of a small American town, there lived a poor farmer named John Carter. He owned a small piece of land, an old tractor, and a tiny farmhouse that needed repairs. Every morning before sunrise, John woke up and walked into his fields. John worked hard, but farming was never easy. The price of seeds and fertilizer kept rising, while the money he earned from selling his crops was often barely enough to support his family. One year, things became even harder. Heavy rain destroyed much of John's crop. He lost almost everything he had invested in the farm. Some neighbors told him to sell his land and find another job, but John refused to give up. He began studying modern farming methods. He watched educational videos, talked with experienced farmers, and learned how to protect his soil and use water more efficiently. The following spring, John planted corn, tomatoes, and vegetables using the new methods he had learned. He also started selling some of his fresh produce directly to people at a local farmer's market. At first, only a few customers came to his stand, but they loved the quality of his vegetables. Soon, more people began buying from him. John saved every dollar he earned. Instead of spending the money on unnecessary things, he invested it back into his farm. A few years later, his small farm looked completely different. He had better equipment, healthier crops, and more customers. John also hired two local workers and began helping other small farmers in his community. One evening, John stood in his field and looked at the sunset. He remembered the days when he had almost lost everything. He realized that success had not come overnight. It had come from patience, learning, hard work, and refusing to quit when life became difficult. John's story became an inspiration to people throughout the town. He often told young farmers, "You don't need to start with everything. Start with what you have, learn every day, and keep moving forward." The poor farmer who once struggled to survive had finally built a successful farm, not because he was lucky, but because he never stopped believing that tomorrow could be better than today.